Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Karlovsky, and we're going to work through the second part of section 9.4, and we're going to move on now to geometric series. Makes sense that if last class we did arithmetic series, the sum of arithmetic sequence terms, then we should do a geometric series, the sum of the terms of a geometric sequence. Now, this one, think about the context. I'm going to give you a little problem here to start. And what if I wanted to add 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32, right? Real simple addition. Now, many of you might say, can't I just plug that in my calculator? Yeah, it's 6 numbers. You could just add it up. But let's think of it from the context of a pattern of a geometric sequence. Now, in this geometric sequence of numbers, we can clearly see that the first term is 1 and the R value is 2, right? The numbers are doubling. And this one we can very clearly just count that there are 6 terms. I suppose if I had done 1, 2, 4, dot, 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 32, oh no, we might have had to figure out what term number 32 was, maybe by doing a geometric sequence and solving for n, right? So just to talk that out, you might have to solve 32 equals 1 times 2 to the n minus 1, and we could solve that n equals 6. But in this problem, it's very clearly n equals 6. Well, this one, there's no cute story about Gauss for this one. I'm just going to give you the formula up here that for a geometric series, the sum of n terms, and we still use the capital S. So you might say, well, how do I know if it's arithmetic or geometric? Well, it'll be because of the structure of the formulas. And so this one is a fraction. And in the numerator, it is a sub 1, the first term, times 1 minus r to the nth power. And notice that that's in the parentheses. All right, and then all over 1 minus r. So first off, it definitely doesn't look quite as nice as the arithmetic series formula. But one thing that is nice about it is that you don't need the last term like an arithmetic series. You just need to know how many terms there are, what the first term is, and what the r value is. So we're going to do this really, really straightforward. And so, hey, let's add this up. Or, I mean, obviously, we could add it up. Let's use our formula. The sum of those 6 terms would be the a sub 1, 1, times 1 minus the r value of 2. Now, I know I don't have to put 2 in parentheses, but I'm going to because it's going to be good practice for a later problem. To the nth power. And that's the first big difference, is that in the geometric sequence formula, you raise r to the n minus 1. In this formula, you raise it to the n. So you're going to want to get that clear in your head. And then all over, just 1 minus the r value of 2. I mean, that's a really complicated looking expression, but you type it in, be very careful with your calculator, use parentheses very carefully, and if you add it up, you get 63, which of course we could have just added up from the very beginning, added up those numbers, and sure enough, you will get 63. However, I want to look at this problem just a different way. Why did I have to write it in this order? Addition is commutative and associative. What if this exact same problem was written in reverse order? 32 plus 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 2 plus 1. Right? It's the exact same problem, just in the reverse order. So the answer better be 63. But let's just analyze it in this way. Well, now in this direction, if I go left to right, now my first term is 32. My r value is now 1/2, right? From one to the next, my multiplier would be 1/2. The n is still 6, though. All right, and so again, this has to be the same problem, and so the sum of those 6 terms in this context would have to be 32, parentheses, 1 minus, and then this is why I like to get in the habit of using parentheses, because in the calculator, you have to put 1/2 in parentheses here to the 6th power, close parentheses. So a lot of times when kids have trouble with this section, it's usually the calculator in parentheses and typing things in very carefully. And I suggest that you do type that in just to show that you can do it in your calculator. But obviously, I promise you, if you type it in, you should get the exact same total of 63. All right. But it's interesting that, just the different context of a different first term with a different R value changes, how the expression looks, but that mathematically those have to be the exact same thing. Okay, so that's the formula. We're not going to do any, story about it, but that's the formula. We're just going to work through a few more examples and see some interesting things to look out for. Okay, let's have a look at a new example. This says 3 minus 6 plus 12 minus 24 plus 48 minus 96 plus 192. That's not a mistake. Oh no, those are minuses. Well, that's okay. However, the concept of series has to be addition, so we just need to look at those minuses as plus negative 6 and plus negative 24 and plus negative 96. Now, we saw that in a geometric sequence, r can be negative. So this is no different. We say, all right, a sub 1 is positive 3. That's my first term. And then now r is going to be not 2, but negative 2. And again, I gave you a pretty short sequence. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 terms. So n equals 7. Okay, so again, sometimes they can be more complicated, but right now these are pretty straightforward. And so if I ask you to add up that, total, well, then let's use our formula. The sum of those 7 terms is, and let's just use our formula. The first term is 3, parentheses 1 minus, and then now r is negative 2. And again, that's why I talked about those parentheses. Negative 2 to the 7th. And then all over 1 minus negative 2. Now, some of you might be looking for a shortcut and say, well, if that's minus a negative 2, can't I just change it to be plus 2? And although you can do that in the denominator, you can't always do that in the numerator, because if you'll please excuse your dear Aunt Sally, this 7th power is happening before the negative of the subtraction. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I would argue just why touch it at all? Just type this exactly as you see it in your calculator. And if you go ahead and do that, I mean, this is just straight up plug and chug. Type that in your calculator with those parentheses, and you will get 129. And at first you think, well, that can't be right because you're adding 192 at the end, but think about it. It's going this positive, negative, positive, negative. So although the sum could be getting bigger, it's kind of getting backtracked by those negative terms. Okay, so that's just an example where I wanted to show you that you need to use parentheses around a negative r value. And I would just say, just use parentheses around your r value every time. All right, moving on to another example. Okay, I wrote this down, although a little sloppy. This says a pendulum swings 16 feet and then loses 10% of the distance each swing. So hopefully you know what a pendulum is. This is the idea of, maybe a string with a weight attached to it, and you pull it back and then you let it swing, and it's just going to go back and forth, back and forth. But what the problem says is that it's going to lose 10% of its distance each time it goes back and forth, or each swing. So forward and then backwards each swing. And it says the first swing is 16 feet. Now, all right, so this is clearly geometric because that's what we're doing. I would say, all right, well, the first term is 16, right? That's how long the first swing is. And then now, if it loses 10%, let's think about that as a multiplier. What would that be? Well, if you lose 10%, I'm not multiplying by 10%, I'm multiplying by 90%, which it would be 0.9 as an R value. Okay, all right, so then you can probably guess, what are my questions going to be? Question 1 is, how far is the 10th swing? So literally just the 10th swing. How far is that swing? So that's not a sum, that is just a sequence problem. So I want to know, what is a sub 10? And that's the formula from a couple classes ago. And that is the first term, 16, times the r value of 0.9. And then remember, this formula is to the 10 minus 1. And that's an important distinction, that this formula is to the n minus 1, whereas, I'm sorry, the sequence formula is to the n minus 1, but the series formula has r to the n. And sometimes that can be confusing. But that's very direct, plug and chug, and we get a value of 6.20 feet. Okay, so that's how far the 10th swing is. And now, how far in total has it swung after 10 swings? So all the back and forth and back and forth, and we're not going to count negatives, but just, the total distance it's traveled. And so this would be the sum. The sum of those 10 swings is that other formula, 16, 1 minus 0.9 to the 10th, right? So that one's to the 10th. Our previous one was to the 10 minus 1, all over 1 minus 0.9. Okay, and so it's a different problem, but very direct. Just plug and chug, go to our calculator, type it in very carefully, and you should get 104.21 feet. Okay, I'm hoping this aren't too bad. We're going to quickly work through one last example. Okay, and we're going to do the same problem we did with arithmetic series about Mr. K's salary, but the difference here, so same starting value of $42,000, but now there's a 4% raise. The other problem was a $4,000 raise. This one's a 4% raise each year. And we're going to answer the same three questions. So $42,000 in year one, 4% raise each year. How much is he making this year, which is year 17? Well, that's a sequence problem. I want to know a sub 17, and the first term is 42,000. And then, oh yeah, how do we deal with a 4% raise? What would be my R value? Well, if you want to raise something 4%, don't just multiply by 0.04. That's going to make it smaller. It would be 1.04, right? 104%. So my R value is 1.04 to the 17 minus 1, right? So it's to the n minus 1. Go to our calculator. We get approximately $78,665. I don't care about the pennies right now. All right, so that's how much he's making this year in year 17. All right, how much total over 17 years? Well, that's today's lesson, that the sum of 17 years would be 42,000. 1 minus, and then parentheses. I think I've kind of made my point. Use parentheses. Even if you don't think you need them, use them. So 1 minus 1.04 to the 17th, all over 1 minus 1.04. And we go to our calculator, and we get $995,296 over 17 years. Not quite a millionaire. And so let's do just like last time. What if I retire in 37 years? How much total money will I have made? And so S sub 37. It's really the exact same problem. In fact, if you use your calculator, you could just copy the previous problem and just change the 17 to a 37. It's a good way to use your calculator a little faster. But to the 37th, all over 1 minus 1.04. And over 37 years, I will make $3,431,494. All right, so that's pretty good. So, if you think about it, that's 37 years for $3.431 million. I believe that's better than my $4,000 raise in the arithmetic example on the previous lesson. But anyway, just wanted to show you again how these formulas work. Geometric sequences, geometric series. Again, it's all about that formula. Let me go back up to it. It's all about this formula for today. Nice and big. And please remember those parentheses around R. That'll really help you out. All right, well, good luck on the homework. I think you should be prepared to do pretty well. And have a great day. Take care.